We're only a month into the new year, and it already feels like a busy month of high-profile releases is upon us. February sees the launch of several highly anticipated titles, some being delayed multiple times over the years. A legendary dragon also finally makes its way to the West, while hunters clamoring for more after Monster Hunter Rise will have plenty to sink their teeth into. Let's look at 10 of the biggest games releasing in February. Deliver Us Mars. As the follow-up to Kyokan Interactive's sci-fi mystery thriller Deliver Us the Moon, Deliver Us Mars is a more high-octane action-adventure title. The stakes are higher as astronaut Kathy Johansson must venture with the Zephyr to Mars to recover the Ark colony ship for humanity's survival. The environments are bigger, with platforming across harsh environments and puzzle-solving necessary to progress forward. It's a big step up over the original with ray-traced shadows and reflections, detailed motion capture, and more polished production values. Whether it finally answers all of our questions or not, Deliver Us Mars is out on February 2nd for Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, PS4, PS5, and PC. Hogwarts Legacy. Harry Potter fans are finally getting what they've probably always wanted, a big-budget title set in the wizarding world even if it takes place 100 years before the main series. As a fifth-year student in Hogwarts School of Wizardry and Witchcraft, players must stop some dark wizards and a goblin rebellion. However, they also wield ancient magic and possess a secret that could alter the world of wizarding as they know it. In between, however, there are 4 houses to join, over 100 side quests to complete, animals to raise in the vivarium, several spells to master, dark arts arenas to battle in, and much more. You can even wield unforgivable curses with no consequences, which sounds a little lore-breaking. Nevertheless, Avalanche Software and Portkey Games have recreated and expanded Hogwarts significantly. All that's left is to see if this translates into a memorable title. Hogwarts Legacy is out on February 10th for Xbox Series X and S, PS5, and PC. Wanted Dead. Soleil has been one of the stranger studios in recent times. Its pedigree of former Ninja Gaiden and Dead or Alive developers hasn't translated to mega-hit hack-and-slash titles. Nevertheless, Wanted Dead looks pretty sick. Not in the cutting-edge visuals or awe-inspiring set pieces, but just in terms of the overall mood. The grungy cyberpunk story follows Lieutenant Hannah Stone and her squad for a week as they investigate corporate conspiracies and run afoul of mercenaries. The mix of live-action commercials and anime cutscenes, the mini-games like Space Runaway. It all feels like an homage to the PS2 and OG Xbox era in the best ways. Thankfully, the game has some interesting hooks, mixing third-person hack-and-slash combat with parries, finishers, and combos with over-the-shoulder shooting. There are several ranged weapons to use, but you're encouraged to stay on the move, adapt on the fly, and not die. Wanted Dead is out on February 14th for Xbox Series X and S, PS5, and PC. Wild Hearts. It's a hunting action RPG exclusive to current-gen consoles, which is unique considering the competition's cross-gen releases. It's set in the land of Azuma, a once powerful domain now threatened by the kimono. Eliminating them is paramount, and when you, someone with proficiency for the long-dormant Karakuri, arrive, it's time to hunt. Like Monster Hunter, Wild Hearts features several weapon types, numerous regions to explore, and massive beasts to slay. The weapons are far from your typical fare. The Karakuri katana can transform into a whip sword. The staff can bloat in size to become a great sword, and the wagasa is a parasol that allows for gliding and beating monsters, letting you live out your murderous fantasies. There's even a cannon which can double up as a bazooka that fires a continuous beam. However, it's not the massive scale of its regions or the lack of free trial before launch that sets Wild Hearts apart. The Karakuri is capable of powerful inventions, providing you have enough thread, capable of transforming into gliders, springs, giant mallets, bombs, harpoons, and even vehicles. It's intriguing and adds a whole new dimension to the combat. But will it be enough to compete with Capcom's hugely successful Monster Hunter franchise? We'll find out when Wild Hearts launches on February 17th for Xbox Series X and S, PS5, and PC. Atomic Heart. Alternative History Soviet Union 1955. Following the boom of robotics, humanity's lives have gotten a lot easier. Unfortunately, in Facility 3826, something has gone wrong. The robots have gone rogue. Hideous experiments have emerged and strong anti-human programming seems to be spreading. As Major Nechov, or P3, it's your job to stop this, armed with a polymer glove with abilities like telekinesis, the Chaika 3.0 to craft weapons, and a quickly deteriorating grasp on sanity. Mixing FPS and action RPG elements, Atomic Hearts is a mix of gorgeous retro-futuristic environments and hard-hitting combat, set to adrenaline-inducing music. There are several types of melee weapons to discover and the potential for stealth. However, you also have an assortment of firearms from the AK to a portable nuke launcher. It's a trippy experience, and that's all before you encounter the manic bouncing hedge cutter robot. Atomic Heart has been a journey for Mundfish, whether it's the long development period and delays or various reports of reboots, crunch, and mismanagement. It's finally out on February 21st for Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, PS4, PS5, and PC, and launches day 1 on Game Pass. Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe. Having made its 3D platforming debut earlier last year, the series will soon be reverting to its 2D side-scrolling platforming roots with Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe, a remake of Kirby's Return to Dreamland, which originally launched for the Wii back in 2011. The game will feature 4-player co-op and allow players to copy enemy abilities, as you'd expect from any new Kirby title. The remake will also come with new minigames, as well as the new Mecha Copy ability, which will lend Kirby with the added physical ability. As you'd expect, the game also has received a noticeable visual and technical bump. Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe launches on February 24th for the Switch. Sons of the Forest. If there's one thing you have to praise End Night Games for, it's pulling out all the stops to create some truly disturbing horror. That too in the confines of survival sandbox, but Sons of the Forest isn't your average follow-up to the 2014 breakout hit, despite following the same templates of crashing on an island teeming with cannibals and mutants. The story this time is about finding a missing billionaire, though once again this is only one way to spend your time, with a world 4 times bigger than the original, revamped building methods for a more intuitive construction, improved enemy AI, and more organic interactions and dynamic seasons. Plenty else can keep you occupied. Co-op returns, but solo players can rely on an AI companion to help them gather, build, and defend against hostiles. Sooner or later, you'll venture into the underground, where all kinds of horrors await. Maybe you'll encounter the locals trying to sabotage your base, or meet a multi-limbed woman who can join your cause. Whether you go about creating conflict, building peacefully, or simply pursuing the island's various mysteries, Sons of the Forest should prove an extensive time sink. It's out on February 23rd exclusively for PC. Like a Dragon Ishin. The Yakuza series has seen incredible popularity in the West, thanks to the success of Yakuza 0. However, with every game receiving a localized or worldwide release, one title has always felt conspicuously absent: Ryuga Gotoku Ishin, which was released in 2014 for the PS3 and PS4 in Japan only. Praised for its combat and minigames, it's finally coming west as Like a Dragon Ishin to Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, PS4, PS5, and PC on February 21st. Set in Kyoto, or Kyo for short, during the Bakumatsu, it sees Master Swordsman Sakamoto Ryoma joining the Shinsengumi to search for his master's killer. Unlike one Kazuma Kiryu, Ryoma kills and is very good at it, using 4 different combat styles: sword, gun, wild dancer, and brawler, to shoot, stab, and beat enemies into submission. But despite featuring a dark storyline rooted in a chaotic era, Like a Dragon Ishin offers plenty of fun sub-stories, minigames, and activities to keep players busy. Chicken racing, managing a restaurant, farming, it's all here, and looks phenomenal thanks to the remade visuals. The more combat-oriented players can look forward to the dungeon, except its trooper cards can now be used in regular combat for unleashing energy blast, black holes, and other insane moves. If you've been itching for a new Yakuza experience with real-time combat, then Like a Dragon Ishin may fill that gap. Destiny 2 Lightfall. All these years later, Destiny is still going strong, with its next big expansion, Lightfall, releasing on February 28th for Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, PS4, PS5, and PC. Lightfall takes place in a new neon-lit city, Neomuna. On Neptune, a new subclass called Strand grapples, unravels things, and if you're a Berserker Titan, it slices. New weapons and gear, a new campaign, complete with a legendary difficulty option for increased rewards, a new raid arriving on March 10th, and much more awaits players. That doesn't even account for the quality of life features like loadouts and changes to the seasonal artifact, mods, armor, anti-champion weapons, and much more. Horizon Call of the Mountain. Sony has made major strides in VR gaming, as seen with the first PlayStation VR. However, PlayStation VR 2 aims to go even beyond, both in power and price, with its 4K resolution support, eye tracking, foveated rendering, and sense controllers that use the DualSense's haptic feedback and adaptive triggers. All of this would be meaningless without games to show them off. Fortunately, Horizon Call of the Mountain looks to be the headset's premier showcase title, developed by Guerrilla Games and Firesprite. It's a spin-off of the open-world series that features a new protagonist in Ryas, a former Shadow Karja atoning for his acts under the Mad Sun King Jiren. Ryas investigates a new mysterious threat to the Sundom. His skills as a hunter and climber translate well when scaling mountains and using weapons like a bow to take down various machines. While little about the scale or how extensively it mirrors the other title's mechanics, like crafting and quests, is known, Horizon Call of the Mountain looks up to the AAA standard for VR titles. If nothing else, it should be fun to hunt machines from the first-person perspective. It's out on February 22nd, launching alongside PlayStation VR 2. Hey, did you know that we at GamingBolt upload new videos every day? Stick around, drop a like, subscribe, and hit that bell, and let us know what kind of content you'd like to see in the future with a comment below.